you from the State Champs Network studio. My name's Lauren Plant. What time is it? Face-off time. Sean Baligian and the coach Greg Durham will be along shortly, and they have Cranbrook's boys lacrosse coach JD Hess joining them this week, and they've got more. State Champs Face-Off is presented by Lawrence Technological University, several world-class undergraduate programs, and over 24 NAIA Division II level varsity sports, including men's and women's lacrosse. The NAIA Women's National Championships will be at LTU this season, May 4th through the 7th, so check that out if you can. The Lawrence Tech women's lacrosse team currently ranked #1 in the country. Recruit yourself by visiting LTUathletics.com. Let's begin with this week's highlights. We start with the West versus East matchup as Granville went on the road to take on our #5 team in the state in Detroit Country Day. Yellow Jackets, a real contender in Division II this season. They would net a game-high 9 goals. You heard me, 9 tallies from the sophomore Caden Daly. Parker Urigo and Cormac Skane chipped in hat tricks themselves. Country Day rolls 18-7 to victory over Granville. Next to the ladies, 2 teams tied for 10th in our latest rankings as Heartland went up against Bloomfield Hills. Eagles were flying, led 13-2 at the break. Game-high 6 goals from Madeline Turcotte as the Eagles scratched an 18-8 win to remain undefeated on the year. You know the professionals with the Detroit Medical Center's physical therapy and sports medicine team? Well, they're one of the best. If you're in pain or injured, simply log on to dmc.org/gamechangers and you'll get taken care of right away. Here on the network, Game Changers are quick-hitting segments designed to make you a faster, stronger, healthier athlete. Now, do you know the best way to prevent Achilles tendon injuries? Of course you don't. Good thing the DMC pros do. Pay attention.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramos with DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, and today on Game Changers, we're going to talk about the Achilles tendon, how to train it to prevent injury and treat injuries. A tendon is flexible but non-elastic. It attaches a muscle to a bone. In the case of an Achilles tendon, it attaches the 2 heads of the calf muscle to the heel, and it's super important in taking that force that you produce in the calf and making you run and jump. As an athlete, your muscles should stay flexible and your tendons stiff. They should act like this. When I stretch this out, the yellow is your calf and the gray is your tendon. A flexible calf, a stiff tendon. When you work out, a lot of times you'll get knots in that muscle, in that calf muscle. So when that becomes tight and you try to stretch it, now the force is put through the tendon, and we don't want that compliance. I'm here with Allie from Utica High School, and we're going to demonstrate how to release the calf muscle to help prevent Achilles tendon problems or even treat them. Start out by taking a foam roll and rolling the back side of your calf. Find the spot that has a knot in it. Once you've found that knot, go ahead and take a ball. It can even just be a lacrosse ball. Put it right over that knot, deep pressure into that knot, completely relax the foot. This is super important. The foot's got to be relaxed in this position and the knee nice and relaxed. Hold this for 90 seconds. No more, no less. This is what the science tells us. After 90 seconds of that deep pressure, which might be a little uncomfortable, gently relax out of it and then perform a regular calf stretch. The next progression of this strain counter strain technique is then take a foam roller and place it right over that knot and then lean back into that foam roller. Hold that position with the foam rolling, pressing on that knot for another 90 seconds. Again, no more, no less. After 90 seconds of holding that knot, then go ahead and do a gentle calf stretch. The final progression is to really isolate that trigger point, that knot. So use, again, that lacrosse ball or tennis ball. Place it right on that knot, lean back into it, into this stretch position. Hold that pressure on that knot, again, for 90 seconds. After 90 seconds, come out of it gently and repeat a stretch. For more sports performance tips or to make an appointment with a DMC physical therapist or orthopedic specialist, visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers. That's all for me. Let's bring in Sean Baligian and Greg Durham.
Thanks as always, Lauren. Really appreciate it. Let's get right into it. So glad that you can join us for another edition here of Face Off here on the State Champs Network, along with the coach, Coach Greg Durham. We are kindly joined by the head coach at Cranbrook. We appreciate him joining us, to be sure. Let's welcome him in, J.D. Hess, the head coach at Cranbrook. And first of all, Coach, really appreciate you taking the time. How are you, sir?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me on. This is it's an honor to be on here. I've been watching state champs for a long time, so to be on it is pretty sweet.
Well, you know what? It's interesting that you say that because, I mean, let's start here. You're a former athlete, high school athlete, not that long ago before you got into coaching. Give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so graduated from high school in 2012. It's coming up on 10 years. Played football, hockey, lacrosse at Seahome in Birmingham, and loved every second of it. I miss it every day. We were telling the kids the other day that coaching's fun, but playing is a lot more fun than coaching.
Yeah, I remember JD quite well. 2012, I had a coach against him. He was actually an attackman back then for Birmingham. Great game. They beat us when I was at Northville. I think it was 15-12. It was a good game. But we were on our high the night before. We beat CC in overtime to get to that point. And then when they beat us, I think you guys got to play Rice right after that. Was that right?
Yeah, that was regional final, and then we got beat pretty good by Rice the next game, as most teams did back then.
JD Hess, the head man at Cranbrook. Coach, I don't know if you heard it last week. We were talking about the special place that you guys play. Before we get into your team and what its makeup is this year, you guys play your home games at a very special place. Dare I say, historic place.
Yeah, the Oval is very special. I actually watched my first ever lacrosse game live at the Oval with my dad. 2002 state championship lacrosse game, Brother Rice versus Birmingham. And like you said, it's historic. There's a lot of memorable moments that have went down there, including Durham's team with a big overtime win over us not too long ago. But it's a really cool place. I mean, we try to relay that to our kids all the time. You know, you play in a special building. You want to protect that building at all costs. And, you know, you pull up to practice and you see it from the parking lot and you kind of have to pinch yourself walking in. It's an awesome venue.
Hey, if you want to hear more of the conversation, make sure that you head on over to Spreaker.com and just search State Champs Face Off.
Boys games to watch. The one I put on here that didn't get much rec, but there's still two good teams. Pioneers playing at Skyline. That's a rivalry game. You got to put that on the schedule. 427. Then there's three big games on Saturday. EGR is at Elkamos, which is going to be a good game. Granville's at Birmingham. I'm really intrigued by Granville. I'm going to try to watch that game if I can. I have not seen them play, but I want to see it. And then Heartland is playing Forest Hill Central. That should be a dandy. Great teams, great goalies, great attackmen, great defensemen. It's just going to be a battle. Girls games, we're going to have Forest Hills Northeastern at Rockford. That's a great West Side matchups right there. And then later on this week, you have Bloomfield at Marion. I think that's going to be like kind of that 10-11 spot is going to be, 9-10-11 spot is going to be battling right there because I think that Marion's right on the cusp.
Till next week, I'm Sean Baligian for Coach Durham saying thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next week on Face Off here on the State Champs Network.
State Champs Face-Off is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit ltuathletics.com and recruit yourself. Face-Off is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Pros. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. Stay tuned for the announcement of this year's 12 nominees coming soon. Who will be this year's Male and Female Athletes of the Year? Find out live Monday, June 6th, only on the State Champs Michigan Network. U.S. Navy recruiting, call 313-315-2560 and talk to a local officer to find out how the Navy can take you anywhere from the sea to the stars. Oakland School's technical campuses are designed for any student who wants to graduate high school with industry certifications, on-the-job experiences, business connections, and college credits. Check them out at ostconline.com.